The Northwestern Hawaiian Islands were designated a marine monument back in 2006, which is a very high level of environmental protection. Yet they've always had a trash problem, and that's largely due to their location. This is a huge area. You're talking about 140,000 square miles and has some of the healthiest corals in U.S. waters. There's huge swirling currents in the Pacific Ocean that kind of dump trash there. It's kind of like a drain in the middle of the Pacific. There's a lot of derelict fishing gear that comes in from fisheries all over the Pacific. So huge nets that kind of float there. They get snagged on the coral reefs, trap sea turtles, and the monk seal, which is an endangered species that the bulk of the population is there in the Northwestern Hawaiian Islands. But there's also a lot of plastic, which doesn't degrade. It kind of bobs on the water, and that lands on the beaches, where albatrosses, which are seabirds, actually pick up the plastic. They think it's something else. They eat it, and they feed it to their young, and they can't digest it. So there's been also deaths. They're losing chicks. I think the last number was about half of the chicks aren't surviving. The thought was that the monument status would help with the trash and help with a lot of other of the issues on the islands. And since the monument was designated 2 years ago in 2006, to great fanfare by the environmental community, there hasn't been much funding. Actually, the funding hasn't increased, and Bush, until this year, hasn't asked for any more funding for marine debris collection. And so actually they were doing a much more comprehensive job before it was a monument. I think a lot of people are confused about why the job was better before a monument than after. Some people are saying there's a lack of follow-through, that they haven't seen the money to actually make it a reality yet. NOAA very clearly says that they made a mistake. They thought that there was less trash coming in than there actually is. There's actually, twice as much as they thought was coming in. Secondly, there's people out there that say that maybe Bush and the administration underestimated kind of the magnitude of the problem and what it would take to solve it. So this is a way to preserve what's a very healthy ecosystem. I mean, of the 7,000 species that live in the Northwestern Hawaiian Islands, a quarter of them exist nowhere else on the planet.